What do you think is the first ever historical event known to mankind? Was it the development of agriculture and the rise of early civilization, or the Bronze Age? In this video, we will explore some of the events that are often considered to be among the earliest known historical events to mankind. The development of writing system. One of the earliest known historical events was the development of writing. The oldest known writing documents date back to around 3500 BCE and were found in the region of Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. The writing system used was cuneiform, which involved using a reed stylus to make wedge-shaped mark on clay tablets. This system was used to record various aspects of life in ancient Mesopotamia, including trade, law, and religion. Another early writing system was hieroglyphics, which were used by the ancient Egyptians. The earliest known example of hieroglyphics date back to around 3400 BCE. Hieroglyphics were used to record important events and religious ceremonies, as well as for funerary inscription and administrative record. The cuneiform writing system was used by several ancient civilizations in the Mesopotamian region, including the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. The term cuneiform comes from the Latin words cuneus, meaning wedge, and refers to the wedge-shaped mark made by a reed stylus on clay tablets. The script was originally used for bookkeeping and accounting, but it soon expanded to include literature, law, religion, and other areas of life. One of the most significant examples of cuneiform writing is the Epic of Gilgamesh, an epic poem that tells the story of a legendary king of Uruk. The poem dates back to around 2100 BCE and is considered one of the earliest known works of literature. Hieroglyphics, on the other hand, was a writing system used exclusively by the ancient Egyptians. The term hieroglyphics comes from the Greek words hieros, meaning sacred, and glyphin, meaning to carve. The script consists of pictorial symbols that represent words or sounds and was used for religious, administrative, and artistic purposes. Some examples of hieroglyphics include inscriptions on tombs and temples, such as the famous Rosetta Stone, which helped scholars decipher the script. Hieroglyphics were also used to create beautiful works of art, such as the intricate wall carving found in the Temple of Karnak. Overall, the development of writing system played a crucial role in human history, enabling people to record and communicate ideas, stories, and knowledge across time and space. The domestication of plants and animals. Another significant historical event was the transition from hunting and gathering to agriculture, which allowed humans to settle in one place and develop more complex societies. This transition took place over thousands of years as people learned to domesticate plants and animals. In the Middle East, people began domesticating wheat and barley around 10,000 years ago. This allowed them to produce surplus food, which in turn allowed for the growth of settled communities. In other parts of the world, people domesticated other plants and animals. For example, in Mesoamerica, people domesticated maize, beans, and squash. In South America, people domesticated potatoes, beans, and llamas. The domestication of wheat and barley in the Middle East was a crucial development that allowed for the growth of agriculture and the formation of permanent settlement. In addition to wheat and barley, the Middle East was also home to the domestication of other important crops such as lentils, peas, and chickpeas. These crops provided a varied diet and helped to sustain growing population. In Mesoamerica, the domestication of maize, bean, and squash allowed for the development of the Mayan civilization, which thrived from about 250 CE to 900 CE. Maize was a particularly important crop in Mesoamerica, where it was used for food, medicine, and ritual purposes. In South America, the domestication of potatoes, beans, and llamas was a significant development that allowed for the growth of complex societies such as the Inca Empire. The domestication of potatoes was particularly important as it provided a reliable source of food in the higher altitude region of the Andes. Overall, the domestication of plants and animals was a significant historical event that allowed humans to transition from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to a settled agricultural one. This transition led to the development of more complex societies, the growth of cities, and the rise of civilization. The emergence of cities and civilization. As humans developed agriculture and began to settle in one place, they built permanent structure and developed complex societies. The development of cities was a natural progression from this, as they provided a centralized location for trade, commerce, and administration. Uruk, located in present-day Iraq, was one of the earliest known cities and had a significant impact on the development of civilization. It was home to large population of people who engaged in specialized labor such as metalworking and pottery. Uruk also had a complex political and social system, with a king at the top and a hierarchy of officials and priests below him. The city had an extensive trade network, with goods being imported and exported from as far away as India and Egypt. In Egypt, the city of Memphis emerged as a center of civilization around 3100 BCE. It served as the capital of Egypt for many years and was home to a large population of people who engaged in agriculture, craft, and trade. Memphis was also a center of religious activity, with numerous temples dedicated to the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. In the Indus Valley, the city of Harappa emerged around 2600 BCE. It was one of the largest cities of its time and had a population of over 40,000 people. Harappa was an important center of trade and commerce, with goods such as cotton, spices, and precious stone being exchanged with other cities and civilization. The city had a sophisticated system of urban planning, with well laid out streets, public buildings, and private houses. Mohenjo-daro, located in present-day Pakistan, was another important city of the Indus Valley civilization. It was home to a large population of people who engaged in agriculture, trade, and craft. The city had a well-developed system of drainage and sewage, which helped to prevent the spread of diseases. Mohenjo-daro also had a complex social and political system, with a ruling elite and a hierarchy of official and priest. In summary, the emergence of cities and civilization was a significant development in human history that led to the growth of complex societies, specialized labor, and the development of trade and commerce. The cities of Uruk, Memphis, Harappa, and Mohenjo-daro were early examples of this trade and provided a model for future cities and civilization to follow. The invention of the wheel. The invention of the wheel is considered one of the most significant advancements in human history. The earliest wheels made of solid wood and were first used in the region of Mesopotamia for pottery making around 3500 BCE. The development of the wheel revolutionized the way people transported goods and enabled them to move heavier loads with less effort. The first known transportation use of the wheel was in the form of sledge or rollers, which were used to move heavy objects such as large stone or statues. These sledges were made of wooden logs or stones and were used in ancient Egypt around 3500 BCE. Around 3000 BCE, the wheel began to be used in transportation in the form of carts. These carts were pulled by animals such as oxen or donkeys. The use of carts enabled people to travel more quickly and efficiently, which led to the development of trade and commerce. The invention of chariot, a vehicle with two wheels pulled by horses, was another significant development in the use of the wheel. The first chariots were used by the Sumerians in Mesopotamia around 2500 BCE and were initially used for military purposes. The development of the wheel also led to other innovations, such as water wheels and windmills, which were used for grinding grain and pumping water. The innovation of the wheel had a profound impact on human society and paved the way for the development of transportations, agriculture, and industry. These events, among others, are often considered to be among the earliest known historical events to mankind. They laid the foundation for human civilization and shaped the course of human history. By understanding these events, we can gain a better appreciation for the accomplishment of our ancestors and the challenges they faced. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.